Today we learn something about cancer. Channel's name is Heartbeat. My name is Dr. Amrit Kejriwal. So definition. Disease in which body cells grow without any control and may spread to other parts of the body. So the cells can grow and divide without any control. There are more than 100 types of cancer. Normally most cells divide in a regulated manner. So there is control over the division of the cells. Old cells are replaced by new normal cells. In cancer, this control of new normal cells is lost, and normal cells are abnormal cells, and since they are abnormal, the growth is irregulated, also the division. So the old cells are replaced by abnormal cells, and these abnormal cells multiply very fast and cannot be removed by the body's own self-defense mechanisms. So you get non-cancer tumors also, and there's a big difference. Do not spread to the other parts of the body, and they do not invade locally, but they may cause compression symptoms. Cancer cells spread locally and may spread also to other parts of the body, and after removal may grow back. There are some differences between the cancer cells and the non-cancer cells. Cancer cells, they can grow without regulation, and non-cancer cells, they grow with regulation. Cancer cells do not respond to stop signal, whereas the non-cancer cells, they respond to growing signal. The cancer cells invade nearby and may spread to other parts of the body. Normal cells usually do not move around the body. And blood vessels grow towards the tumors of cancer cells, but in non-cancer cells, blood vessels do not grow. So the blood vessels provide nutrition for the tumor cancer cells, and the normal cells, in the cancer cells, blood vessels provide more nutrition because the blood vessels grow towards nutrition. Nutrition is supplied by the blood vessels. Cancer cells can avoid the body's own defense mechanism, whereas in non-cancer cells, body's defense mechanism is active. We must understand that cancer cells are made in our body regularly, but the body's defense mechanism removes the cancer cells in normal individuals. And in patients who are having susceptible to cancer, these abnormal cells cannot be removed. And the chromosomes, which are form the basis of cell division, they're abnormal in cancer cells, whereas in non-cancer cells, they are normal. And nutrients for these cancer cells may be abnormal, and nutrients for non-cancer cells is normal. So you get more and more blood vessels, and their unregulated growth. Chromosomes are abnormal, so you get more and more chances of getting cancer if you take some habits. So you can see the cancer cells, this divides regularly 1 into 2, then 2 divide into multiple, and multiple divide by into more. Whereas the normal cells, they divide slowly, 1 into 2, 4, and some more. So we can see over here how the normal cancer cells are, and they have an irregular nucleus, or the chromosome which is contained in the nucleus is a bit irregular, whereas over here you can see the normal nucleus. So this is the difference between the normal cells and cancer cells. What causes cancer? So changes in the genes occur when they grow and divide, and during the growth and division there are mistakes when cells multiply. And these changes may be promoted by tobacco chewing or smoking, excessive exposure to radiation from our parents, and infections. So you have the genetics, genes, they're influenced by radiation, chemicals, and infections, and all these cause alteration in the genetics, that is the chromosome, which causes the cells to divide. There are various genes involved, such as the proto-oncogenes, tumor suppressor genes, and DNA repair genes. I'll not go into the details of these. You get the common symptoms, such as a lump, that's a swelling, abnormal bleeding, prolonged cough, weight loss or fatigue, change in bowel bladder habits, fever, and difficulty in swallowing. These are not all the symptoms, but these are some of the common symptoms which we see in the cancer patients. Cancer spread. So a tumor grows locally and then it spreads to other parts. Again, from the initial tumor or the other part where it has spread, it may spread further to other parts. So if you get a tumor in the stomach, it may go to the intestine or it may go to the lungs, and from the lungs it may go to the brain, or from the intestine it may go directly to the brain. And this is called metastasis, and this is the main part which is life killing in many of these patients. And once the metastasis occurs, it causes damage to their organs and their functions. There are various risk factors involved, such as consumption of tobacco and alcohol, unhealthy diet, eating too much of fatty diet, high body mass index, that is weight by height square, height in meters. So if you have a high body mass index, chances of having cancer are much more. Weight is more than the height square. Lack of physical activity, leading a sedentary life. Air pollution, chronic infections, and age. More at the higher age, you will have increased risk. Now, early detection can be done by early symptoms and going for an appropriate medical checkup and timely referral to treatment. So this constitutes one part of early diagnosis. It doesn't mean that all the patients who are having weight loss or cough or have cancer. But yes, if you have early symptoms, go to the for an appropriate medical checkup and they will refer after the initial tests. Screening. How this is helpful for a particular cancer, for example, mammography. Carcinoma of the breast cancer is very common, and so mammography may be done as a routine checkup in ladies more than 45. So that cancer can be picked up, and these are only helpful for particular cancers which are very prevalent in the society. Common tests that are advised are the various blood tests, X-rays, CT scans, biopsy, and of course further tests will be required. This is not the entire list. Many tests are required to confirm a cancer. Treatment. It requires a combination of radiotherapy, chemotherapy, surgery. And treatment is decided by the type of cancer and the spread of cancer. Goals. So our aim is to cure the cancer. However, some patients come late. So we have the second goal is prolonging life, or at least improving quality of life if we cannot cure the cancer. Palliative care is basically not to cure but to treat the symptoms. Some patients come in a very advanced stage and no treatment is advisable for them. But of course, if they have any symptoms, we can treat the symptoms. And the main cause for this is palliative care is that patient comes late to the doctor. Treatment has been given but not responded. The appropriate treatment has given, but all cancers do not respond equally. Recurrence. So you have given the initial treatment and again the recurrence has occurred. So this goes into palliative care many times. And advantage of palliative care is that it improves the quality of life and reduces the stress on the family members. Preventing cancer. Say no to tobacco, limit alcohol. Maintain a healthy body weight. Maintain a healthy diet. Keep a regular physical activity. Vaccination against HPV and HBV is human papilloma virus and hepatitis B virus. Avoid ultraviolet radiation excessive. Safe and appropriate use of radiation. So if you get too many X-rays or too many CT scans done in a year, you may get chances, or unnecessarily don't go visit the X-ray room or the CT scan room unless you're having protective clothes. And of course, air pollution is a cause, and if you reduce pollution, chances of cancer will reduce. Thank you for watching the video. Please do not forget to like the video. Feel free to give comments. Please subscribe to the channel and share the link with your friends. Thank you once again.